All right, everybody, the Live2d Customizable Chibi is finally here and ready for purchase. I've worked very hard on it, and so I hope you all enjoy it. So once you've made your purchase, you're going to be able to download a folder. Go ahead and unzip that folder, and from there it is plug and play, ready to use with VTube Studios. So once you have that folder downloaded and unzipped, open VTube Studios, find the person icon on the left side of the screen, click that icon. In the bottom left, you'll see where it says import your own model. From here, you're going to click that button. You'll click open folder, drag and drop the folder you unzipped directly into here. So you should drag that one folder on over, and with that, next time you click this person icon, you should see an icon that looks like this on the bottom that says Live2d Custom. Now, if this does not show up when you've downloaded it, go ahead and restart VTube Studios. Once you have the file open, this is what it is going to look like. It is very basic. You can use your scroll wheel to zoom in. You can drag it around if you need as well. And there's just a few routine things that you want to have set before you go into all of the fun customization options. So once you've clicked the gear icon, the first thing I want you to do is go ahead and scroll down till you see where it says microphone settings. Make sure that you have the microphone turned on and make sure that your microphone is working. You're going to be able to see it's working by seeing voice volume and voice frequency change. This is going to give you a lot better mouth movement, so make sure that this is turned on in your model. The next thing you're going to do is go over to the camera icon in the top left and make sure that you have your tracking on. So you can set whatever tracking option you want. I'm currently using the NVIDIA broadcast despite all of the little cursed imagery that's occurring right here. And the tracking options you have will depend on what device you have. So some of our toggles that I'm about to show you will only work with certain devices. So the NVIDIA broadcast does allow for mouth movement X, which is really awesome. There are some other ones that may not allow for this. iOS and Android devices allow for a lot better movement than a webcam does, which is what I'm currently using. Once you click the person icon with the little gear, I want you to make sure that Save Active Expressions is on. When this is on, it's going to save all of your clothing options and toggles. That way you don't have to turn them on every single time you use your model. You're going to scroll down to the very bottom here, and I want you to see that cheek puff and tongue out here are options. Now, like I mentioned before, these options are only going to be able to be used on certain devices. They should be good on most Apple devices and some Android devices. So if you're using your webcam, you will not be able to use those parameters, but they are there for those that want them. Now it comes the fun part. So you're going to go ahead and click that clapper on the top left. You're going to click Expression Editor and you're going to click Create New Expression. From here, name it whatever you want. I'm going to name it Example here. And there are all of our options for our clothes and our body and expressions. So there's a lot of options here. Now, in order to navigate them easily, I do have some parameters in here that don't do anything. So if you notice that it has 3 asterisks, a word, and then 3 asterisks, that is a header. It's telling you that all of the toggles below that point are related to the body. So from here, you can see you can change your face, change your little hands, you can change your torso, your legs, your booba, all of the things here. Now, I do want to point out that if you stop any of these toggles between 0.9 and 0.00, you will have some strange opacity occurring here. So notice that when I've stopped between 0.9 and 0.00, you can see that the opacity of the face is having some issues. So make sure that you're staying at one of the full toggles, otherwise you're going to end up with some very strange results. Now, as you scroll down, you may notice that some of the toggles don't work unless you have another toggle active. For example, blush intensity does nothing at all if you don't have blush on. So once you have blush on, you can turn that down and you can kind of lighten the blush, make it look how you want it to look. Furthermore, if you come down, if you were to mess with tongue, notice that it isn't changing anything at all. That's because I'm using a webcam, so I can't actually see what my tongue out would look like. So for some of these toggles, you may need a device that can track tongue or something like that in order to actually see what the toggle does. So you can keep scrolling down, mess with all of these different toggles. You can see that there are a lot of ear options and things like that here. Let's stick with the bunny ears since I'm a bunny. And you'll notice that some of them, like moth wing spots and moth wing border, will not work unless you have your moth wing active. And from here, you will be able to use some of those toggles. Now, the toggles that get a little more complicated are when you get down here to the hair. So for hair, currently bald is active. If you mess with any of these toggles, nothing is going to happen because you're bald. So go in to your bald. You can change it to bald, buzzed, or to hair. Once you have it on full hair, you can mess with all of the toggles below. For this one that says bangs or part, no part, this lets you choose between the next two toggles. So you can see bangs is going to do nothing if I'm on the part, no part option. But if I'm over here on the bangs option, it works. So mess around with it, find what you want, find how you want it to look. And once you've gotten everything kind of laid out how you want it, you're going to be able to go down to the clothes. So the clothes are further down on the list. And for items like the shirt, it is fully customizable. So you can change the length, you can change the neckline, you can change what the sleeves look like, you can even change the sleeve opacity. So you could have little princess shoulder puffs if that is something that you really wanted to have. Next, you'll notice that we have some outerwear toggles. The overalls will connect with your pants or your skirt if you want to turn that on. But there are a lot of options here, so make sure that you're playing around with them. Like some of the other options we've mentioned, if you are trying to mess around with, jacket hoodie options, that is not going to work unless you have the jacket already turned on, and then you can see those options. So you can see there's a lot to mess around with. There are a lot of different options you can have, and just play around. Get it how you want it to be. Now over here where you can see it says cheek puff and all of these things down here that start having 2 asterisks. So these are going to be toggles. Now the cheek puff toggle is not a toggle that is currently set for you. This is going to be a toggle that you would have to set for yourself later if you wanted it. And this is only for devices that don't actively track cheek puff, okay? So if you have like webcam, for example, and you wanted to have a cheek puff, you can definitely turn this on as a set expression. Now, once you have your model looking how you want, and let's see, I think I should probably have something down below. There we go. We've got a skirt on now. You're going to go ahead and click save. And notice that everything disappeared. Go ahead and click cancel. You're going to scroll down to where you see a plus sign. Click that. Name it whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and name it example because that's what I'm going to set. You're going to click hotkey action, set unset expression. Then for expression, you are going to click the one that you just created. So I'm going to go ahead and click example. And from here, I'm going to select a key to turn on this expression. So I'm going to select the middle mouse button because that's not a button I click very often. I'm going to click that. Notice it went ahead and turned everything that we just made on. Now, at this point, I prefer to go ahead and turn this back off to have no key activated. In this way, even if I accidentally click my middle mouse button, it will not take off all of my clothes. So from here, we are going to go ahead and we are going to go back to the person with the year icon. you will notice that there's an option here that says Customize Model. When you click Customize Model, you're going to want to click Customize Multiply Screen Color for Art Meshes. Select OK. At this point, it's going to give you just a heads up that some artists don't want this to be modified, but for this model, since it is customizable, I encourage you to go ahead and use all of these options. Now, there are a lot of things here, but once again, don't feel stressed because look, as I scroll the mouse over, it will select different items. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click, so I clicked over here and it selected everything behind where my mouse is. From the hoodie sleeves to the moth wings with all of the moth wing options. And you can go ahead, turn on one of these. Notice that you can change the color with the multiply tool. And then you can also alter it with the screen tool. Once you have a color you like, you're going to go ahead and click OK. Now, notice that it only did this to the sleeves. If you want, you can go ahead, you can click in another location to select more of your hoodie. I see the jacket strings. I'm going to leave them as that color, but I'm going to go ahead and select the jacket. And because I want it to be the same color as my sleeves, I'm going to click Paste Last Multiply Color, OK. Paste last screen color. Okay. Now I'm going to make sure I get the back of the hoodie too. So I'm going to find where it says jacket back and I'm going to do the same thing. Paste OK, paste OK. And now my jacket is all one color. If I wanted to change my jacket strings, I can do the same thing. I can come in here. I can alter the colors however I want. We can make it bright red or black. I'm going to click OK. And you can customize all of your parts like this. Now, for some of these pieces, and I'm going to show you this, for some of these pieces like the ears, notice that the back of the ears is changing as well here. I don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to not touch anything on the multiply option. Instead, I'm going to come over here to the screen option. And from here, I can change my colors. You aren't going to get really dark, intense colors this way, but you do have the option of directly editing the texture files as well, which is what I'm going to talk about at the very end. Along with this, I want to point out that as I move my head from the left to right, with some of these ears, notice that the ears are changing color. That is because there is a clip layer here. So if I get it the way I want it and I click OK, I'm going to turn my head, click the ear. We're going to say paste OK, turn my head, click the ear, paste OK, paste OK. And now it is all set and good to go. Another way for you to alter your item colors that's a little bit quicker but does require you to use other programs is to go in to the gear icon, click Open Data Folder, and from here you're going to be able to find where it says Live2d Models. Click Live2d Custom, and from here you are going to find a folder that says Live2d Custom and has a number after it. Go ahead, click this folder, and you will notice that there are texture files here. I have all of these texture files grouped so that you're able to change them as a group. So for example, if you wanted your ears a certain color but wanted to swap between different ears, you could open this folder and change all of their colors at once. Similarly, if you wanted to change your skin color, you can come over here and alter this file. The only thing on this file is skin. So by altering this one file, you have already changed every single piece that contains skin color, and it is a much faster way for you to edit your model. So with that, I hope you all enjoy. I want to see what you all create. And yeah, I love you all and thank you so much.